This is a Masters D.Va. The Reddit post is learning D.Va for this patch, and they've said I can't tell if I'm low-key stat padding or doing just fine. Have been getting a lot of good stats and zero-ish death games on D.Va, but those have been close wins or close losses. Okay. I'm a Ryan Winston main mostly, but I can play anything bizarre on an okay level. Oh, and I wanted the shield major perk and picked wrong. Okay. Well, first off, like, you can play anything but Zara at an okay level because you don't play, like, everything. Just say you can play Ryan Winston pretty well. I don't really play anything else that much because you don't play anything else. Like, if you don't play anything else consistently, you're just not playing the heroes enough. But, whatever. I'm not gonna go over, like, how to play D.Va or whatever because obviously you probably know because you're in Masters. I'm just gonna go over and review this. Obviously, like the main goal is kind of gets up on a corner and just not let them push through. We're kind of DMing nothing here. We don't want to waste our DM just on like poke like this, especially not for this long because like now you just don't have the defense matrix to actually fight people. Going off the run is fine. He's kind of walking across the open space. This is fine. I think honestly, you could have gone for the Soch here. I'm not saying it would have been a perfect play, but like who is really gonna be able to stop you, right? Like you can just fly past the Ryan, go for the Soj, and then once you land here, kill Soj, hold your defense matrix, you get fly back, you just run away. Because then you've killed Soj, you've created a distraction, and then the rest of your team could just walk forward. I don't think seeing his shooting shield was like probably the best play, but it wasn't like the worst thing either. Because obviously your team already had like the good angle. So it's not horrible, but like it just would have been like a faster way to like win the fight. Yeah, I would like to see you set up before the fight somewhere. I don't mind the micro missiles here. It's fine. Just a micro, the DM here is kind of pointless if your Kiriko isn't actually getting shot, right? It's like if your Kiriko isn't taking damage, then what's the point in using defense matrix? Like there's no point. Like she hasn't taken any damage, like before you did it. So that was kind of no point. And also, I don't think this is even helping her as well. I'm pretty sure it was. I think. Yeah. So I make sure she actually takes damage before you defense matrix. I don't mind you holding here, but you gotta go like be on the front line. So I ideally like the play style on D.Va is gonna be play frontline trade for a bit, and then booster to set up on an angle once your team is taking angles, and then engage on someone who is distracted by your team. It's like right now you're gonna wanna have to fight the tank because you know what else are you gonna do? I don't like this booster. Your cooldowns have to be used with like a purpose. Your booster has to be used to either help you set up, to scout, to engage or disengage. Your missiles have to be used at close range. And your DM actually has to be used to stop like a lot of damage being taken. You can't use your cooldowns for no reason. Because like without them, D.Va loses a part of her kit. Wasting boosters makes you lose her mobility. Losing her missiles makes you lose her lethality. And using DM like incorrectly makes her lose survivability, which is a big hit to her kit. Because like now, because you don't have your boosters, you can't fly away, and you have to use your DM, which is then gonna have to force you to fly away anyway. When you could have just backed up, had DM, and then you would have been able to play this corner anyway. So like you see how using that one boosters there kind of costed you like a bunch of space, a bunch of cooldowns, right? Using boosters here costed you not having boosters after this. So like when you see her use fortify, you can kind of just back up a bit. Use boosters to either fly here or like you know just fly anywhere with like cover, back up, and then once her fortify runs out, you can go back in with all of your cooldowns. She has no cooldowns and then she just dies. But instead, because you didn't have boosters, you couldn't properly fly out, which means you had to use DM to back up, and then when you run out of DM, you have to back out fully, and then like the cycle keeps going because now you have to keep backing up. I don't like this engage. Why? Because it's just in front of them. Like it's expected, right? Like they see you, so it's gonna be very easy to like dodge you and not die to you. the way you want to engage on D.Va is come in from an angle where they can't see you, which is more commonly known as an off angle. So like, just for example, right, instead of engaging from the front here, we can engage from over here. Why? Because the enemies are looking down this lane and not in this room. So you would have been able to surprise them easier. That's generally how you want to engage. Okay. We flew in, we just need to get out now. Now we just back up a decent amount. I'm not saying we have to go to spawn. But yeah, let's back out. Okay. Trey's dead, that's so great. But we can't just go AFK. Yeah. I don't like using micro missiles on tank here. Because micro missiles it's like a decently long cooldown. But I don't like using the micro missiles on the Orisa because she's gonna take like 70 damage. Like you see how little damage she took there? She took 100 damage. That gets healed up in like 1 second, right? I would rather you save the missiles for someone actually killable, like this Venture. The Venture jumps in front of you. You actually have your missiles to just kill them. But instead they get away without really having to use any cooldowns. Alright, we're just gonna hold the corner here. Our job is to just hold this line here so that our team can take angles, and then once our team takes angles, people are gonna get distracted, and then that's our moment to go in. So I might better to show you. So at first we're gonna have to play the corner like the front line because that's our job. We have to take the aggression so that our team can take angles. And what happens when our team takes angles? Well, up here you can see Kiriko's behind them, Venture's distracted, Bab's distracted, which means you have the opportunity to go kind of more in because they're starting to move back because of the distraction. So like that's generally how you play tank and like dive tanks in general. Because like, I'll try and show it. So like now your Kiriko is engaging, which means everyone is kind of distracted. Oh, the flag got messed up there. And then, because they're distracted, you can now go in from the off angle. Why is it an off angle? Because they're not looking at you. Sure, the Orisa Torba are looking at you, but the BAP isn't, and your Nano. So it's a good moment to go in. Plus we have bomb and stuff like that, so we're good. Ooh, I don't like going in here. Instead of instead of going in here, we should have used this boss as cover. Use this boss as cover quick. Get healed by the Ana. Oh, okay, well, no, you wouldn't have been able to. But, like, get healed by the Orisa, right? Play here. Well, wait, where the fuck are you? Am I done? Oh, you're here. So, yeah. Play, like, literally play in, like, behind this bus. Get healed a little bit. Fly up over here so, like, you're not flying directly in front of them. Again, because, like, you don't want to fly in front of them. You want to fly from some sort of angle where they're not looking. So, get healed a little bit here. Fly up over here. Engage from this angle. And then you can use your DM and your rockets as you need to up here, because you're not actually in front of them. Do you see the difference here? Because you're just in front of these guys, it makes it super easy for them to burst you down. You should use your DM there. But this is what bomb's for. You need to pop bomb now, or you're gonna die. Okay, now we can't fight 1v3, so we just need to get out. Nice. We don't need to DM this, by the way, right? Like, I know your idea is like, okay, I need to DM my teammates, but like, your team's fine. Freya's behind the wall, and there's no one else actually getting shot at. And if you actually walk forward and see the window, it's trash. So literally all you've got to do is just not peek the window for like a second. So far, I mean, like, you're not playing too bad. Yeah. Again, I don't really like these missiles. I don't like using missiles at like longer range like this, unless you've got the major perk that tightens the spread. Then, you know, it's whatever. But still, I don't like using missiles at long range. Why? Because it's just like you just don't get a lot of value. I figure the value you get from using your missiles at point blank compared to like what you just did there. Like it just doesn't do anything. And now you can't properly engage someone really and like burst them down because you don't have your missiles. I don't mind that. I was gonna say like be careful of kind of flying all the way over like this, but honestly I don't hate it because like you can just DM, yeah. You can push this guy DM and then get out as well. But why was this venture a good target? Because I think that's a good thing to like understand. Like why was it good for us to go for this venture? Well, like we can see the venture over here, like go on the left, and then we see them over here. Why is this a good play to make? Because the venture is isolated. If we fly over, we're not immediately gonna die. Why? Because we're able to reach cover, right? We can fly over here, try and burst down the venture, and then when we start getting shot at, we can use our defense matrix into cover. You know, into cover over here. We can play in the open, use our matrix, get cover over here, and then we can either like wrap around over here to try and surprise them further, or if they start walking forward, we can walk back here. Either way, flying over here gives us two things. It gives us more space because you're going to be going over here, which means like the space line goes from like here, if you want to if you get what I mean, to kind of over here, because now you're controlling this space and not just this space. And it also is going to force out the venture or get them killed because they're isolated. And it gets them killed. Why? Because you pushed them. Okay, careful. We don't really have any defense matrix. Okay, nice. Okay, my thing just got fucked up. Yeah, I would be careful of engaging just too early. Just like make sure you're like looking at your health bar, because right now you're at 500 health and not a lot of defense matrix. So I'd be a little bit careful of how I engage it. I'm not saying you can't engage, but just know that you have to quickly be able to reach cover like fast enough, or else you're gonna get busted down. But nice, we get the kill. Why is Vibe dead? Because he's in open space and they have no cooldowns. That's it. And like that's where D.Va is strongest, right? You can just I can't speak. You can just finish off people after they have no cooldowns, and like because she just does so much damage. You can keep going in here, by the way. Okay, now we gotta leave. But like this is where we need the DM. And like I don't like that we've wasted it here. So like we're just holding DM for no reason. Is anyone on our team actually in danger of dying? Sometimes you need to turn around and actually go, okay, is anyone actually in danger of dying to this torpedo? Because like you're not in danger of dying because he's not even shooting it, right? You have to be really thoughtful about your DM, because in future cases you're gonna need it. Like what's this for? You don't need to DM here. Like there is no one shooting. You don't need to DM. And now when you try and go in, you're not going to have the DM you need to fully eat all of this damage, which means you're not going to be able to stay here for long enough. And now you have to get out. Now you don't have to get out because you're Kiriko flanked, and now you can kind of engage. But you know, like in a different scenario, and they had more damage, and you had less defensive matrix, you just die there. So let me go over the basic gameplay loop again. So as tank, you're going to do a tank trade initially. I'm not saying you're going to do it for the whole time, but initially you're going to tank trade, because what's going to happen is that you and their tank are going to move forwards and back, and that's going to make your team take angles. It's going to make their team take angles. When your team takes angles, the enemy team squishies are going to be distracted, right? So you can see the Kiriko. Your Kiriko is able to take this angle because you're holding the front line. No one's dying. So she's able to go round behind the enemies and shoot them. What happens when she starts shooting the enemies? Well, obviously, they're going to have to turn around. They have to make a choice. And they've chosen to look at the Kiriko. This now gives you the option to play like the dive D.Va that you want to. And it allows you to capitalize on this distraction. And because they're half HP and stuff, because the fight's already been going on, you can just go in there. Honestly, you could have, as soon as these two turn around, like, let me try and get your POV here. I don't know why it's just black screen. Like, as soon, like right now, as soon as you see these two turn around, you could genuinely just boost her in and kill them. And nice. Go for the Kiriko. Gunner down. Now let's go for the next guy. After getting kills like this, quickly assess your health and your defense matrix resource, and then just go in further. Because like worst case, you boost her in, you get shot, you just DM back. Okay, I don't like the defense matrix there. This is like a preemptive defense matrix that is just kind of pointless. Do we actually need a defense matrix at like 550 health with one venture shooting at us? No, like we don't. we want to save defense matrix for like now maybe, because now we're actually low on armor and we're actually gonna die. Okay, we have no micro missiles. Let's see if we get into a situation where we could use them. No, okay. Which is to get out. I was just fortify here. Just give space. They've already used cooldowns. Just back up, because right now they're in a good position to actually kill your team, because you're playing forward and you're making them play close, which is allowing the Venture to actually get on them. But if you just bat up a little bit, like even just by going over here, flying up here, you're making the Orisa waste fortify, and your team doesn't really have to worry about you because you're not going to take too much damage, which means they can deal with the Venture, and then once the Venture's forced out, you can re-engage because the fortify is probably going to be gone as well. But we get nano, so we want to try and go on someone. Okay. I mean, like, your team's kind of dead, so we just got to dip. Yeah, don't bomb here. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fine. You're Anon nano juice, so it's like you kind of have to go in. You can't defense matrix the Venture, so it's like whatever. Yeah, we just have to try and build up mech as fast as possible. I don't know why the replay view is being so slow today. You have to push up a little bit to try and get down. You can't just play like a coward. Okay, we have bomb. We need to get in the fight now. Let's go. Again, I don't like this micro missile. Like, using micro missiles at any range but close range, just what does this do? It literally doesn't do anything. It's just a waste. Okay, we're gonna use our DM to try and walk forward. Make sure to keep our cast alive. I don't hate this. I would just rather you do it from this way, or maybe like this way, because then you kind of sandwich them, and then even if they do push your team, you're close enough to your team anyway to where you can walk on them. But if you want to play safer, just booster over here, because think about it. You booster in front of them like this, which means all they have to do is look this way anyway. But if you boost it in like this, well then suddenly the enemies have to look this way and this way. And it gives you kind of like a better setup position. What is a setup position? Kind of somewhere where like you can engage the enemies from, which like isn't just going to be directly going in front of them. So like you can set up over here, and then walk over here, and then drop on top of them instead of just boostering or walking in front of them. I hope that makes sense. I don't hate this micro missiles because you're closer. This is so risky. Yeah, that is so risky. Why is it risky? Because you're going in front of 5 with low HP. So like even if you try and turn around, you just die anyway. This is very risky. Your job is to just live here. Right? How do you live? By either walking back here with Matrix or boosting up here with Matrix. Or else like you're just gonna take so much damage and die. But you do get the BAP killed because the cast is high nooning, which is good. Now, because you're low, get healed a little bit, and then just DM to cover. Because like you've done your engage, you don't need to stay in. D.Va is about engaging and disengaging in like quick cycles, right? So like you went in on the BAP, that's an engage. The engage is like over now, and you're low HP, you have no cooldowns, stuff like that. Now it's time to disengage. How are we gonna disengage? Well, this time we're just gonna use DM and walk back to the corner. Walk back to any corner so that you can get healed. Because now that you didn't disengage, they were able to just walk on you and then you get demeched. Instead of just literally, you could just walk over here. By the way, you could just DM, walk backwards. Kiri heals you, and if they do push you, you're probably not gonna die because you actually get healed. And now you have to use your bomb. And now you're not gonna bomb for next fight. So this was a completely pointless bomb because you just got a little too greedy. Let me explain to you exactly what you should have done. So you kind of forced out a bunch of cooldowns, and then you engaged. So we're in the engage part of the cycle. Now, once the BAP's dead, we're gonna turn around, realize, okay, we're not gonna be able to get any more kills. Why? Because we have no micro missiles. They're playing in a group. They're all looking at me. I have no boosters. Now, your your goal is to get somewhere where you're no longer getting shot by the enemies. You can do that by either walking back to this corner or literally just walk backwards, right? Because if they try and walk forwards out of this choke to shoot you, well then they're gonna get shot by the cast. You can hide, and then the carry can just come to you and heal you. Like I know I'm going really like super autistic in depth, but this is not when you engage again. You can't engage. You have no health, you have no missiles, you have no stuff. You just can't. And now you get bomb forced out. And now next fight, if you do get demeched early, well then you're not gonna have bomb. Okay, we're just pushing bot. This is fine. I'm not really too bothered about this. So yeah, here you can start to use your missiles at like longer range if you want. If you're gonna use your major perk. If you're not gonna use your major perk at that range, then there's no point. Yeah. So instead of just taking a bunch of damage here, we just need to be using the stairs as cover here. So when the Orisa drops, we can kind of walk on the stairs. We get cover from the Orisa. The Torb has to walk forward to shoot us, which means she has to walk forward into our team. We just need to play cover a bit so that we can let our team set up angles. Or like figure out what's going on. Because like right now, I think one of your teammates is dead. I don't know why I can't see player outlines. Yeah, one of your teammates is dead, so like you shouldn't even be here in the first place. Actually, no, you have 2 teammates dead. You should not be holding this. Okay, I didn't realize you had 2 dead. So now, with that in mind, if they use any ults at all, get out. As soon as they use rush, get out. Why? Because you're on a 4v5, 3v5, right? Just get out. They just use an ult for free. You just dip. Good. Okay, you actually made a good play. I didn't realize you were down, people. Don't use micro missiles on fortified Orisa. That should be pretty obvious. Just save your missiles for someone actually killable. Because right now, Orisa's not killable. Venture's gonna come out of dig literally in 1 second. Just go for the Venture. Okay. Yeah, you can't DM the cast in the ult by the way. So just he's just dead. Right. I mean you're in the defense matrix. There's not really a lot you can do. Yeah, just go back, fly to a team, try and help them. I haven't talked a lot about like helping your team. Because there hasn't been a lot of scenarios where like you can like you've been a very like self-sufficient D.Va, and your team has been very self-sufficient in turn. Yeah, help out. How a bit again? I don't like the booster usage. I think we need to curb the booster usage to either point blank, or if we have our fusion cannon perk, then maybe you can do it. But even then, I don't really like it. Here. Now we're in this frontline stage where we need to just hold space, let our team take angles. Right now our team is like kind of in danger. They're getting pushed, so we kind of need to just like hold this down, let our team create angles, and like you can see our Freya is kind of, I don't know what she's doing, but she is making space, right? So you're holding down the front line. Freya is distracting people. And now that people are distracted, you no longer need to play the front line because there's like chaos, right? The fight starts. So now you can just go in and capitalize on the fact that they have no cooldowns. You see how it's just a constant cycle of play front line, hold space, allow your team to make angles. Your team makes angles. They distract enemies. You capitalize on the distracted enemies. And now, right, this buff has no lamp, no stuff. Kiriko has to use TP. I wouldn't go in here, by the way. Because you're very low. But to be fair, it's just kind of unfortunate. I think once you hear the Torb use ult, just defense matrix him. Like literally just DM him. There is no point in defense matrix going in this far because it's just kind of dangerous, right? You don't really have any follow up. You're getting shot. You're getting shot by 3 people. The best thing you can do is just hold DM on these guys. Eat their healing. Eat Torb's ult, and then just get out when you need to. I know you really want to go in, but it's just too risky. You can't. And now, right, because you went fully in when you were fighting against 3, you weren't actually able to help your team. So this is a scenario where you need to help your team. Because look, these guys aren't really doing anything. So you can either just fully disengage and peel your team, or you can distract these guys and just stay here without going in. Do you see the difference? You don't need to go in to like make these guys do bad, because now they've gone in, you can't reach your team who actually needs help, right? And like, I'm not saying you could help the cast, you might have been able to help gas. Maybe. Nah, he gets boot back pretty far. So like yeah, like you probably can't help him, but like you could have at least again stayed here, eaten the tour eaten the heals, and then maybe you can make something happen. But because you hard engaged at a bad time, it just didn't go well. And like why's that a bad time? Because there's three looking at you, and your Cass is nanoed, so like the value you get from keeping him alive actually is pretty high. Because obviously, if you keep him alive, he's just gonna one-shot everyone. Alright, good DM. But this is just where we need to back up. We have no DM, no missiles. It's just good. We just need to back up. Nothing you can do about the venture. You can try, but like you have no DM, so it's just good. You have to fly up. Okay. I'm not saying the micro missiles is bad here per se. I don't like it on the full HP Orisa because like she's gonna take 70 damage or so. You would rather just save it for the venture, but obviously you know there's not a lot you can do. I mean yeah, there's not really a lot to say. You just get kind of altered. I'm just trying to think of like where you could have gone. So like instead of going over here, which kind of stays in her LOS, you should have just tried to full send it over here. But you know, there's not really a lot you can do. You get D-Max. I wouldn't be opposed to you just like running back to spawn by the way and like getting your mech back, but this is fine. Alright, we have mech, we need to help people. We don't want to give them the lead, I get that. Right, okay. Now this is a good scenario where you would want to use rockets on the Orisa. Because now right, she has no armor, she has no spin, she has to use fortify here, like or she dies. So now this is a good time to use missiles on the tank. Why? Because she's actually pretty killable. And then, because she's killable, she has to use her cooldowns. So you just burst her down, and then they use window, defense matrix. Don't keep peeking that window because you have no matrix. Run away. Just literally back up. Alright, now you can go in because they have no cooldown, so they're just very killable. Nice. Good fight. So that was a good example of when to use your missiles on Orisa. Why? Because she's half HP, she has no spin, she has no armor most importantly, so she's actually going to be killable, and you can force out a cooldown. I haven't seen you use your fusion cannon perks like at all. The way you want to use your fusion cannon perks is either before the fight, and like you're just trying to get some like medium range damage, like here for example would work pretty well. Either like you can just use it like as you're going in for a dive because it just tightens the spread and makes it easier to hit, or just do it after a dive because you can't really go in. Just basically just use it as much as possible. Now, what is wrong with disengage? What's up with like disengage? Well, like you could say, well, I mean the map was kind of alone, but you have to consider has your team actually been able to set up yet? Like, has your team been able to set up? Well, the answer is no. Because your Kiriko and your Ana are still in spawn. So, your team hasn't been able to set up. Your team hasn't been able to take angles. And because your team hasn't been able to take any angles, there's no one to distract. So, you going in on this map, whilst, like, in theory, it could be okay. Because he's, like, kind of alone. Kind of. I mean, like, not really. But, like, let's give you the benefit of the doubt. He's kind of alone. It doesn't really work. Because there's no one else to actually follow up on your push. So, like, you just die. Right? And, like, you see how everyone just turns around and kills you. And they don't really lose anything for like, turning around. And then you get D-Max. Now, it's not like the worst thing ever. Why? Because your team did come back and force them back from this angle here. So, like, it works out, luckily for you. But you should have waited for your team to get back and then engaged. Because like even now you're gonna get D-Maxed anyway, so it just doesn't really matter. Okay, Ana heals you. Yeah, this is where we need to just DM. We need to just DM here. Make sure Ana doesn't die. We have to make sure Ana doesn't die here, because if Ana dies here, we lose. Yeah, that's it, man. Ana loses. I mean, like I don't know if you lose this game, but like because Ana dies there, you lose. You have to escort her out of this situation, or like at least try, right? Like don't focus on the full HP fortified Orisa. Focus on your Ana who needs help getting out. Because like Oh my god, the Orisa's fortified and I'm nanoed, so I should shoot. Oh no, we should try and help the Ana. There's some situations where like, you just need to be a bit more aware, and we need to understand. Oh, okay, maybe shooting the fortified Orisa isn't a good idea. Let me look around a bit and see if I can help that Ana who was next to me. And now, because your Ana's dead, you're probably not going to be able to help this. But she might come back in time. Maybe. You see how they're waiting for their Kiriko to come back as well? This is what you should have been doing last fight. You should have been waiting for your supports to come back. Because now the Kiriko is going to come back and now they can engage. Again, I'm not going to keep going over it. I don't like these micro missiles because now we just don't have missiles to hold. Okay, game plan. Hold the front line. Hold space. Allow our team to create angles like our Reaper's doing. And then when we see an opportunity to go in because they're distracted, then we go in. Right now, obviously, we wouldn't want to go in because that's too far. And there's a group of 4 of them in there. We would want to wait for like a little bit more chaos. For example, here we could use our fusion cannons to shoot the turret or to shoot the back. Yeah, well your team just got fucking shit on. I'm not entirely sure how your team just got shit on, so I'm gonna take a look. But I can tell you this is definitely too early to go in. This is way too early to go in. Or like it's not a good idea. Why? Because the bab's just kind of too far. You don't know if they've used lamp or Suzu, so even if you do go in here, you don't know if they have those cooldowns. There's kind of 3 of them in a group taking separate angles on you. So even if you DM one guy, the other 2 are going to have to shoot at you. And you don't really know what's going on with the rest of your team, right? So your cast dies to the Venture Orisa. Not really your fault. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I'm going to be honest. I'm actually so curious. So Reaper TP's over. Cass is taking the flank over here. Ah, he went on the flank too early. And that's unfortunate. And then he just gets cut off. He dies. And then the Orisa dies because, or the Reaper dies because he's just feeding. And then the Kiriko dies because she was trying to help Cass. Now, I don't see how you win this. This fight isn't really your fault. Other than actually going in, which was kind of a bad play because you were just misinformed. This fight isn't really your fault. So, yes, that play to go in was bad, but the team Loki trolled that. Now, it looks like the game is just lost. I don't see how you win this in the next couple of seconds. Yeah, again, like we're just using missiles into no one because like I don't know what the plan is. Either we're using missiles on these guys, which is kind of pointless if we're not going to use our fusion cannons, or we're using missiles on the Orisa, which I've already spoken about, which is just kind of stupid because she's just going to survive it. And then you try and go in too early, and then you die. Unlucky. You don't need to go in like right now because like you do still have like 10 seconds left. You can give them space, let them push forward a little bit. You don't have to go forward right now. You could have backed up, dodged the Orisa ult, gotten healed, and then taken this side angle and then tried to capitalize on any distractions the Reaper created, which would have been you see him going in with Death Blossom, then you can come in from this angle, and because you haven't used your defense matrix, you would have been able to go in and help the Reaper. Because like you see here, you're like, oh my god, I'm panicking. I need to use my defense matrix on 2 ults that I can't cancel. Instead, you would have flown up to the right, and then you would have seen the Reaper go in, and then you would have at least had a chance to try and help him out. And then we lose the game. Anyway, so that's it for this this review. The main thing we've learned is just kind of not to waste our cooldowns when we don't really need them, and to like make sure we're like aware of like where our team is, because if we go in alone, then that means we're taking too many resources from our team and we're getting shot by everyone on their team. But like otherwise, like you're a pretty good player, like mechanically, and like knowing when to go in on that's good environments. You just need to hone in on that. Keep looking for like opportunities to go in. When are opportunities to go in? After your team has created off angles and they're distracting enemies, people who are low HP, isolated, they've used cooldowns like Lamp or Suzu, and try not to use your micro missiles on the Orisa too much or too far away. Anyway, I hope you've learned a lot from this VOD review. To anyone watching this, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.